We're live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India News, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next hour. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi departs for Laos to attend ASEAN India Summit and East Asia Summit. Hurricane Milton makes landfall in Florida's Category 3 storm. US President warns it could be one of the worst storms in 100 years in Florida. US President Joe Biden holds direct and productive call with Netanyahu. Israel says strikes on Iran will be lethal, precise and surprising. India's iconic industrialist, philanthropist, Tata Sons Chairman Emeritus Ratan Tata passes away at 86. President leads the nation in paying tribute to the legend. India's men team beat Bangladesh by 86 runs, take 2-0 lead in series, while women's team beat Sri Lanka by 82 runs in T20 World Cup. And on to the top story this hour. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarked on a two-day visit to Vientiane, Lao People's Democratic Republic. Ahead of his departure, Prime Minister issued a statement saying, "Today I am embarking on a two-day visit to Vientiane, Lao PDR, at the invitation of Prime Minister Sonsai Sifindorn to participate in the 21st ASEAN India and the 19th East Asia Summit. This year, we are marking a decade of our Act East policy. I will join the ASEAN leaders to review progress in our comprehensive strategic partnership and chart the future direction of our cooperation. The East Asia Summit will provide an opportunity to deliberate on the challenges to peace, stability and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region. We share close cultural and civilizational ties with the region, including with Lao PDR, which are enriched by shared heritage of Buddhism and Ramayana. I look forward to my meetings with Lao PDR leadership to further strengthen our bilateral ties. I'm confident that this visit will further deepen our engagement with ASEAN countries," unquote. And for more, we have Meghna Dev joining us from Vientiane. Well, Meghna, India has been quite vocal about its equations with ASEAN, which are a central pillar of the Act East policy and India's Indo-Pacific vision. What is the significance of this summit for India to consolidate its position, one, especially the timings of it?
Yes, we are celebrating 10 years of our Act East policy, and it becomes even more significant at this point of time when we actually see that there are a number of exchanges. When we are talking about exchanges with Singapore, we are talking about bilateral exchange with other countries like Brunei. We are also seeing that in different sectors, like in the semiconductor sector, in the agriculture sector, food processing, tourism, and these sectors are seeing a good surge when we are talking about the bilateral cooperation that India has with the countries of the ASEAN. Now, what we also see is that there are talks. Last time around, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi went to Jakarta for the ASEAN India Summit, he did lay down a 12-point agenda proposal for how the ASEAN India relationship has to move forward. We know that we have a comprehensive strategic partnership with ASEAN, and when we look at the 12-point agenda, we definitely see that there is talk about maritime security, there is talk about digital infrastructure, there are talks about different sectors like cyber security. So these things are, and multimodal connectivity for that matter. So these things become essential when we are talking about the bilateral cooperation. Now, this time around, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be here in Vientiane, in Lao PDR, there will be discussions on the progress that has been achieved since the last summit. We will also definitely see that connectivity is going to be one of the important aspects that will be discussed when we're talking about the trilateral highway, or we are talking about, connectivity from Southeast Asia India and to the West Europe. So we definitely see that connectivity is something, multimodal connectivity for that matter, is something that is important, and there's a lot of emphasis that has been given to it. Besides that, when we are talking about trade is something that is that holds much promise. When we're talking about the data of 2022-2023, there is a bilateral trade of around 131 billion US dollars. So that is a huge volume when we're talking about the bilateral trade. And when we see ASEAN is one of India's top trading partners. So this is one aspect that we attach to Southeast Asia in terms of trade. When we also see there are minilateral cooperations like the Mekong-Ganga cooperation, and in other aspects we have joint exercises in the defense sector also, like we recently had one with Thailand. So we are not only cooperating in different sectors, we are also cooperating in the defense sector for that matter.
Right.
Quick development projects are something that India is carrying out in various countries in the region in terms of education, drinking water supply and sanitation. So these are some of the aspects that we are already continuing with the ASEAN. That will also be reviewed in the summit today. And what further can India and ASEAN collectively do, in which new sectors, or what things will be able to enhance the already existing cooperation, is something that the focus of the summit will be about.
Right, Megha. You were talking about the connectivity. Tell us more about the theme this year, which is connectivity and resilience. Connectivity being a very important pillar of India's engagement with ASEAN, as much as 20% of the Indian diaspora worldwide lives in these ASEAN countries.
Yes, Lipakshi, that's a very essential point when we are talking about connectivity, especially with the ASEAN countries. As you said, that 20% of the diaspora across the globe, the Indian diaspora across the globe, is in the ASEAN countries. Now, what we see that there is a lot of tourism that, not only that, we see tourism to Thailand. We are seeing a huge surge in, in the tourism to Vietnam for that matter. Now, also, when we're talking about direct flight connectivity, this is something that, the government is working on. When we, yesterday also, the secretaries did say that there will be announcement of of flights to two more ASEAN countries. So direct flights is something that is in the works from a long time. Now we see a lot of connectivity to Thailand. We are seeing a lot of connectivity to Vietnam, direct flight connectivity. We also have direct flight connectivity to Cambodia. So now when we are planning on enhancing direct flight connectivity, that definitely means that the tourism will also will also be accelerated with this. We will be able to see a growth in tourism. But besides that, when we actually see that the tourism to India for the Ramayana circuit or for the Buddha circuit is something that holds a lot of importance, because when we see monks under the ICCR scholarship go to study to the Nalanda University, we are seeing people come to visit the places which are related to Lord Buddha. We also do see just some time back we did see that the Buddha relics were brought to Thailand, and that was a huge congregation of people that had come to worship those relics. So we just do not have those important areas of cooperation in terms of connectivity or trade or economy or education, healthcare sector for that matter. But we also have that soft cultural heritage, shared cultural heritage that brings both the ASEAN as well as India together.
All right, Meghna, a lot of historical and cultural linkages there also. Thank you so much, Meghna, for all those details. And moving on, Lao ASEAN, a unique edition of perfume by an Indian-origin entrepreneur, Soktavi Chaudhary, is being given to delegates and VVIPs at the ASEAN Summit. Chaudhary has developed this perfume under the motto "Product of Lao and Gift of ASEAN." He also will be gifting it to PM Modi during his visit to Laos. Indian-origin entrepreneur Chaudhary established a first-of-its-kind perfume factory in Laos in 2014 and is currently exporting its fragrances to the Gulf countries, China and Korea. Chaudhary says that the upcoming visit of the Prime Minister is a proud moment for him, and the diaspora is eagerly waiting for his arrival.
The Indian community in Vientiane is excited to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Lao PDR, and we are joined in by first-generation entrepreneur Mr. Chaudhary, who is the owner of a perfume brand in Vientiane in Lao PDR, and he will be presenting a very significant perfume to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. What do you have to say? What is special about this? Where's the idea come from?
This is the Lao Asian perfume. We make it from the product of Lao, gift from ASEAN. And this is the chair of 2024 in the Laos, chair of in the ASEAN. And not very easy to make this perfume because not only Laos, because if the other Asian 10 country also, I keep it always in my brain. That also one kind of challenging for me. But finally I make it. This is the Lao Asian perfume.
Has there been any Indian influences in the fragrances that you create?
Yes, yes, of course, there are some Indian influences is here. From some is coming from Manipur, Nagaland. Some oil I put it here also. And yes, this is last time 2006, 2007. I go with the Deputy Prime Minister and other minister together in Dubai. Then when we go to Dubai, we visited so many perfume shop. Then that time is our Prime Minister said, Deputy Prime Minister, why not making the made in Laos perfume? Then I have promised to him. I promised to okay, one day I will make the made in Laos perfume.
You're also known to create a perfume from the traditional, or we can say a special Lao flower. What is that?
Yes, special Lao flower is the Dok Champa. Dok Champa is the national flower in the Laos. When they have the Basi ceremony, welcoming, or you have to go they have the festival, the water festival. That time is that flower is coming. This is the national flower.
What is the excitement to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi here in Vientiane?
Yeah, of course, I'm very exciting to meet him because all our community also waiting for meet him. This is is the leader who is the ASEAN leader in the all over world leader in the Narendra Modi ji. Of course, we are very much exciting. Special for myself, I'm very exciting to meet him.
Here we see that the excitement is there in the diaspora, and not only that, the entrepreneurs, Indian origin entrepreneurs, are growing significantly in Laos. What we also definitely see is that in a small community, the small Indian community that resides in Lao PDR has got a very significant contribution to contribute to the country of Lao PDR. With camera person Mohit Joshi, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Vientiane.
And India and Lao PDR share historical and civilizational linkages reflecting Buddhism and Ramayana connect. DD India's Meghna Dev reports for more.
India and Lao People's Democratic Republic have historical and civilizational links reflected in the common heritage of Buddhism and Ramayana. Lao PDR recently issued a postage stamp featuring Sri Ram Lalla of Ayodhya, making it the first country in the world to issue a stamp depicting the revered deity.
Ramayana is a special theme generally for performances of theatre in the ASEAN countries, and it is considered a shared heritage of the Eastern world. Ramayana is also popularly known as Fralak Fraram, or also known as Ramakien in the Southeast Asian region, and it is performed on auspicious occasions like the New Year or major festivals, when we actually see that most of the action of this epic is based alongside the Mekong River, which is the Southeast Asian mainland and is somewhat what Ganga means to India.
Buddhism is another aspect that traces our deep civilizational linkages. Many monks from Laos still go to Bodh Gaya to study. Monk Solidet Duangchansia, monk from Lao PDR, is pursuing Buddhist studies at the Nalanda University under a scholarship provided by the ICCR.
My name is Monk Solidet Duangchansi. I am Buddhist monk from Laos PDR. Now I am studying at Nalanda University under ICCR scholarship. This scholarship provided by Government of India. India and Laos PDR have a close civilizational ties reflected in common heritage of Buddhism. These ties have been given an impetus to increase dynamic promotion of Buddhist thinkers and our common heritage, which includes the exchange of Buddhist scholars from different parts of the country.
The Ramayana, popular throughout South and Southeast Asia, was first brought to the ancient Lao kingdom of Lane Sang centuries ago, reportedly by Buddhist missions. The historical connections between India and Laos continue to influence their modern close relationship. Today, this shared heritage is reflected in ongoing cultural and a robust development partnership cooperation. Meghna Dev's report for DD India.
And moving on, Hurricane Milton has made landfall near Siesta Key, Florida, as a dangerous Category 3 storm. It is the fifth hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. this year. Milton made landfall in Florida just weeks after Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida as a Category 4 storm. In a state already battered by Helene 2 weeks ago, as many as 2 million people have been ordered to evacuate and millions more live in the projected path of the storm. According to the National Weather Service, Milton is bringing an axis of extreme rainfall to the Tampa Bay area, increasing the risk of deadly flash flooding. The storm could become one of the most destructive on record for Florida's Gulf Coast. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis delivered an evening press briefing warning residents to shelter in place now that Milton has arrived at the state's coastline. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden urged Floridans to take shelter and prepare for Hurricane Milton's destructive impact, emphasizing the need for immediate safety measures for those unable to evacuate.
Trump has led this onslaught of lies. Assertions have been made that property is being confiscated. It's simply not true. They're saying people impacted by these storms will receive $750 in cash and no more. That is simply not true either. They're saying the money needed for these crises are being diverted to migrants. What the heck are they talking about? Stop it. It's outrageous. It's just not true.
Trump said his prayers were with the people of Florida. Criticizing Biden administration, Trump said they have done a terrible job in its response.
Before we begin, I want to send our prayers to the people of Florida getting hit just about now. In a little while, you're going to see a hurricane like we haven't seen in a long time, as well as all of the people still recovering from Hurricane Helene. So we have North Carolina has been hit very hard, and this administration has not done a proper job at all. Terrible, terrible. Nobody's seen anything like it. But we just pray for everybody. We want them all to be good, and we're going to be there hopefully soon, and we're going to help them rebuild and get it all back together.
And still to come, DD India News Hour. During a podcast, Donald Trump praises Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a good friend and the nicest human being. Indian Navy leads the charge in Quad naval exercises to secure the Indo-Pacific. And we explore the link between spirituality and mental health on World Mental Health Day. Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Lepakshi Khurana, and moving on, Donald Trump has showered Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi with admiration, hailing him as a good friend and the nicest human being. Speaking during a podcast interview released recently, former US President said that PM Modi is a total killer with the nation's adversaries. He added that PM Modi turned down offers of help when India faced threats. Explaining the assessment, he said, "We had a couple of occasions where somebody was threatening India. I said, let me help. I'm very good with those people. Let me help." But PM Modi turned down the offer, saying, "I will do it. I will do it, and I will do anything necessary." We've defeated them for hundreds of years, Trump said. Trump said there were two major confrontations that involved China and Pakistan during his rule, both of which did not escalate. With Pakistan, it was the Pulwama terrorist attack of 2019, and with China, it was Galwan clash of 2020. The Republican presidential candidate said that at a personal level with PM Modi, we have a very good relationship. He is the nicest human being. On being asked if world leaders were all sharks, Trump said not all of them, but gave the example of PM Modi as one of the tough leaders. Trump said that till PM Modi became Prime Minister, there was instability in India. Finally, Trump fondly recalled his participation in the Howdy Modi event in Houston in 2020, saying, "It was me and him. We filled up the stadium, was beautiful, like 80,000 people was going crazy." And the Second Army Commanders Conference for the year 2024 will be organized in a hybrid mode, with the first phase planned on 10th and 11th October 2024 in a forward location at Gangtok. In the second phase, the senior hierarchy of Indian Army will congregate at Delhi on 28th and 29th October 2024. Today, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will deliver a keynote address to the senior leadership at Gangtok and will be briefed on the emerging security challenges and the response of the Army in the security domain. The conference will serve as a forum for senior commanders to review current operational preparedness, deliberate on critical strategies and outline future directives. The gathering reinforces Army's enduring resolve to stay prepared, adapt swiftly and defend with precision to ensure the Indian Army remains progressive, forward-looking, adaptive and future-ready. And the latest iteration of the Malabar Maritime Exercise Series, Malabar 2024, launched at Visakhapatnam on October 8th. This significant military event, co-hosted by India and the Eastern Naval Command, brings together the navies of the Quad, Australia, Japan, the United States and India for 10 days of advanced maritime training and strategic dialogue. As India steps up as the host this year, the exercise reflects the evolving security dynamics of the Indo-Pacific region. Malabar, which was initiated in 1992 as a bilateral exercise between India and the US, gained further traction as a significant maritime engagement, with Japan and Australia joining in subsequently. And Durga Puja, the greatest festival of India, particularly in West Bengal, celebrates the victory of goddess Durga defeating the Mahishasur. It starts with Bodhan and Shasti Puja. Dr. Sarup Prasad Ghosh, Director, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Institute of Asian Studies, expressed the mythological importance of worshipping Devi Durga.
This Navaratri in West Bengal is celebrated with pomp and grandeur from Shashti, Shaptami, Ashtami and Navami. Vijayadashami is the last day, and the Vijayadashami ends with sweets. We Bengalis call our friends, near and dear ones, even those whom we know, and offer sweets to them, and it ends with a note that we will remain as friends together throughout the rest of the year. So this is a very auspicious time. The Bengalis, the Hindus wait throughout the year for these 4 days.
Well, the representatives of the new generation who have been retaining the cultural heritage of India since childhood, Pratyasha too expressed her experiences and importance of social gathering on the occasion of Durga Puja in this era of social media.
Puja for me is an excuse to connect with my family, my relatives, my friends in a very relaxed traditional setup where we get to revive our values, our views on social life, and this for me is something that I cannot do away with.
Also, the Indian state of Assam is abuzz with excitement as the grand celebration of Durga Puja began on Wednesday. The vibrant atmosphere, filled with the rhythmic beats of traditional drums, signals the arrival of the festival, and the devotees are all set to welcome goddess Durga on this auspicious occasion. As a report by correspondent Nitulpat Deb from Hailkhandi, Assam.
Yes, the countdown for the biggest festival, Durga Puja, is almost over. The state of Assam is all set to worship goddess Durga with traditional rituals and customs. Right now I am in Hailkhandi, where about 400 public Durga Puja will be held. This is the Puja pandal of Session Road Durga Puja Committee. This is one of the eco-friendly Puja pandals. This will be come on light from today itself. We have some local people here. We'll like to know about their preparation.
Durga Puja is just not a festival for the Bengalis, it's an emotion for us. So the preparation is almost done. I have bought so many saris, and after a few days of continuous rainfall, today the sun has come up finally. So hoping for a great puja ahead.
We eagerly wait for this festivity, and now that it's finally here, it's all about getting the feel of the new clothes, going to different pandals with our friends. So yeah, that's all about it.
The wait is almost over, and about 8,000 public Durga Puja will be held this year in Assam. All is in readiness, and all are eager to worship goddess Durga. With camera person Partho, I am Nilotpal Dev for DD India.
Well, October 10th is being observed as World Mental Health Day to encourage global mental health education, awareness and advocacy against social stigma. The theme this year is It's Time to Prioritize Mental Health in the Workplace. We get to our next report as we explore how mental health is integral to an individual's overall health. Take a look.
Managing emotions is more than just a personal skill. It is a crucial factor for affecting millions of lives worldwide. Every day, people silently battle mental health issues, and the ripple effects touch not only them but also their families, friends and communities. Despite the growing awareness, a staggering number of those suffering from mental illness still shy away from treatment. October 10th is observed as the World Mental Health Day. The theme this year is It is Time to Prioritize Mental Health in the Workplace, and it underscores the growing need for mental health support in professional environment. According to the World Health Organization, many avoid seeking help due to fear of judgment and lack of social acceptance. They may hesitate for the fear that seeking help is a sign of weakness. However, the consequences of this hesitation can be devastating. If left untreated, the mental health issues can quickly spiral into serious concerns. What many don't realize is that mental illness can affect a person in countless ways. The symptoms are diverse and the experience is deeply personal. Anxiety disorders, ADHD, eating disorders, schizophrenia spectrum, post-traumatic stress disorder are some of the concerns, to name a few. While some may experience persistent feelings of sadness or anxiety, others may struggle with mood swings, lack of focus. It can affect anyone regardless of background, age or status. Mental illness does not discriminate, but mental health issues are treatable. With the right intervention, care and support, individuals struggling with mental health can and do recover. Staying mentally and emotionally healthy is the key to not just surviving, but also thriving. The path to healing starts with a conversation. If you or someone you know is struggling, don't hesitate to talk about it. Seek support, share your feelings, and when necessary, consult a medical health professional. Mental health matters. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Remember, early treatment can lead to complete recovery, but ignoring it can only make things worse. Let's break the stigma together, because everyone deserves a chance to live a mentally and emotionally healthy life. With Harshita Biroy, Preeti Kaur's report, DD India.
Well, former chairperson of the Tata Group, Ratan Tata, is no more. He died at the age of 86 in Mumbai's Breach Candy Hospital on Wednesday, where he was admitted for the past few days due to age-related issues. His contributions to nation building shall never be forgotten. Diptanshu Kashyap brings us this report.
India lost a visionary business leader with the passing of Ratan Tata. A stalwart of the Tata Group, he served as chairman, elevating the Indian conglomerate to the global stage through a series of high-profile acquisitions. His career began in 1962 after he returned to India with an architecture degree from Cornell University. He held various positions within the conglomerate, including at Tata Motors and Tata Steel, before taking over as chairman from J.R.D. Tata in 1991, coinciding with India's economic reform and globalization. As chairman, Ratan Tata implemented significant changes, including enforcing retirement ages and promoting younger talent to senior roles. Under his leadership, the Tata Group acquired companies such as Tetley, Chorus, and luxury auto brands Jaguar and Land Rover. He also championed innovative projects like the Indica and the Nano at Tata Motors. After stepping down from active role, Ratan Tata became a prominent investor in Indian startups, supporting a wide range of companies. He received numerous global and national honors, including the Padma Bhushan in 2000 and the Padma Vibhushan in 2008. His legacy of elevating the Tata Group, philanthropy and commitment to social causes will inspire generations to come. Diptanshu Kashyap's report for DD India.
And President of India, Draupadi Murmu, condoled the demise of business icon Ratan Tata. In a post on X, she wrote, and I quote, "In the sad demise of Sri Ratan Tata, India's lost an icon who blended corporate growth with nation building and excellence with ethics. A recipient of Padma Vibhushan and Padma Bhushan, he took forward the great Tata legacy and gave it a more impressive global presence. He inspired seasoned professionals and young students alike. His contribution to philanthropy and charity is invaluable. I convey my condolences to his family, the entire team of the Tata Group and his admirers across the globe," unquote. Also, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar condoled the demise of Ratan Tata. He wrote on X, and I quote, "Deeply pained by the passing away of Sri Ratan Tata ji, a towering figure of Indian industry whose contributions towards building a self-reliant Bharat will forever be an inspiration to entrepreneurs in India and beyond. A man of deep commitment and compassion, his philanthropic contributions and the humility he embodied aptly reflect the ethos he embraced. As the legend of Indian industry leaves behind a lasting legacy, Bharat would miss him very dearly. I extend my heartfelt condolences to his family, friends, admirers, and to the entire Tata Group in this hour of grief. Om Shanti," unquote. Also, in a series of posts on X, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Ratan Tata a visionary business leader, a compassionate soul and an extraordinary human being. He hailed Ratan Tata's most unique aspect of his passion towards dreaming big and giving back. Recalling his interactions with Tata, Prime Minister Modi said, "I would meet him frequently in Gujarat when I was the CM. We would exchange views on diverse issues. I found his perspectives very enriching. These interactions continued when I came to Delhi. Extremely pained by his passing away. My thoughts are with his family, friends and admirers in this sad hour. Om Shanti," unquote. Meanwhile, a day of mourning will be observed in the state today in honor of Ratan Tata. Chief Minister Eknath Shinde said this will be a state funeral as a tribute to the departed soul. During the period of mourning, national flags at government offices in the state will be lowered to half-mast and no entertainment or entertainment programs will be held. The mortal remains of Ratan Tata will be taken to the National Centre for Performing Arts in Mumbai at around 10:30 a.m. for members of the public to pay their last respects. At 4 p.m., the mortal remains will embark on its final journey to the prayer hall at the Worli crematorium for the final rites. And for more, we have Shama Mishra joining us from Mumbai. Well, Shama, a big loss for the nation as we lose a shining beacon of India's entrepreneurial spirit and a great philanthropist there. Maharashtra government has declared a day of mourning.
Yes, Lepakshi, Maharashtra government has announced that there will be a day, entire day of mourning, and in that there will be no entertainment or any other event that would be taking place, and even the events that was slated for Chief Minister or other government officials to be present, that has been cancelled or postponed, and even the official buildings that has our tricolour, that will be flying on half-mast. I'd like to show you the visuals where we are here at NCPA, and the mortal remains of Ratan Tata has already been brought here. The prayers from various communities are underway, and we've already heard Ardas has been done, prayers according to Hindu rituals that has been done, and like I mentioned, there will be prayers from different communities that will be held. Throughout the day, we are understanding that there will be so many people who would be coming to bid their last goodbye to Ratan Tata, and we are saying, we also saw that Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, he just came here to bid his last goodbye. And we are also understanding that around 11 or after 11, there will be various consulates that will be coming. That will be coming, and we are also understanding that around 12, that's the rough time when the Chief Minister of Maharashtra and other deputy chief minister, they will be also paying last respects. We are also understanding the fact, we're getting this information. Union Home Minister and Corporation Minister Amit Shah, he would be coming here later during the day, and he would be representing Government of India. And we understand that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is not in the country, otherwise he would have come too. So there will be Amit Shah who would be coming and representing the central government. Apart from that, we are seeing that people from various Tata Group's office, they are here, and they are bidding their last goodbye. A huge number of people are already here who are bidding their last goodbye, giving their last tributes to Ratan Tata. And this is NCPA, which is also a Tata Group venture. So National Center for Performing Arts is a place where there's a lot of place, and that is why, keeping that in mind, that huge number of people, huge number of crowd would be coming, and they would be paying their last respects to Ratan Tata. This place has been chosen. So the mortal remains were brought around 10ish in the morning from his house in Malabar. Now it's kept here, and then at around 3:30 or 4 o'clock,
all right,
the mortal remains now would be carried out to Worli crematorium, where the prayers would be said, and then he would be cremated with state honor. So this is the entire planning which the state government has done.
All right, Shravan, thank you so much for those details. And still to come on DD India News Hour. We'll show you how Republicans and Democrats are all out and open to denounce the other as the countdown starts for the US presidential polls.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News. I'm Pakshi Khurana, and moving on, United States President Joe Biden has reaffirmed his ironclad support for Israel during a phone call with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The call between the two leaders on Wednesday lasted 30 minutes and was their first publicly announced conversation since August amid an escalation of violence in Gaza and Lebanon. Vice President Kamala Harris also joined the call. White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre earlier had described the talks as direct and productive. Talks also included discussions on a potential attack on Iran. The U.S. is working to get Americans out of Lebanon ahead of a potential Israeli attack. White House press spokesperson Karine Jean-Pierre said the U.S. Embassy in Beirut remains open and the U.S. will continue to make airplanes available as long as the Beirut airport remains open.
As the Beirut airport remains open, we will continue to make more airplane seats available daily. To date, the number of seats available continues to exceed demand. The U.S. Embassy in Beirut remains open and can help Americans who need emergency passports or other documentation. We urge Americans to take advantage of these options. Ultimately, a diplomatic resolution is the only way to achieve lasting stability and security across the Israel-Lebanon border.
Meanwhile, Israel's defense minister warned on Wednesday that his country's retaliation for a recent Iranian missile attack will be lethal and surprising. Iran fired dozens of missiles at Israel on October 1st in an escalation of the conflict between the two countries.
Now you have seen the attacks that the Iranians attacked us a short while ago. These attacks were aggressive, but they failed because they weren't accurate attacks. Just as we have been doing until now in the war on all other fronts, whoever attacks us will be hurt and will pay a price. Our attack will be deadly, precise, and above all, surprising. They will not understand what happened and how it happened. They will see the results.
And for more, we have Amit Mukherjee joining us. Well, Amit, Middle East being on the edge. Israel yesterday again warned of an attack on Iran, which would be lethal and surprising, whereas Tehran has said any retaliation would be met with vast destruction.
Well, Lipakshi, right now things are absolutely in a chaotic situation and it's quite tense out there. And adding to the chaos is this unclear statements which are being made by all those people all those leaders who are actually involved in this conflict, and they are very, very provocative in nature, whether it's Iran, whether it's Israel. In fact, as we speak right now, Israel has said across warnings to the Lebanon administration that they are again looking at destruction very similar to that of Hamas if the Hezbollah attacks from their territory continues. Also, northern Gaza, Israel has issued fresh warnings, in fact, just about an hour back, to evacuate hospitals, which it would again target because presumably those sites are where Hamas squads are hiding. Now, if you look at the entire development, for example, Naeem Qasim, who is now heading the Hezbollah operations, he's the commander right now, and he has been the Deputy Secretary General of Hezbollah. Now, he, in a televised message, said that they will continue attacking Israel territories, they'll continue firing missiles into Israel, and they have the capabilities, they have backups, and they are well equipped to handle the situation. In fact, the assassination of their head Nasrallah has not deterred them at all. That is what they have come across. But at the same time, they are also kind of supporting the peace efforts, the ceasefire efforts that is being made by the Lebanese administration. So again, very, very conflicting. On one hand, they're talking about, they're making provocative statements about attacking Israel continuously. And at the same time, they're also lauding the ceasefire efforts. So total confusion right now. And in the meantime, Israel and US administration, they had talks. In fact, both Netanyahu and President Biden, a few hours back, they had a discussion on whether they would, on how the retaliation against how Israel would act against Iran. Remember that on 27th, after Iran had attacked Israel post the assassination of Hezbollah chief, Israel has not responded as yet, although a lot of destructions were suffered because of the Iranian attack. In fact, Ratan, the air base of Israel, suffered large-scale damage, and according to unconfirmed reports, about 20 F-35 aircrafts also suffered damages. So the situation is very tense. Provocative statements are coming from all those who are involved in this conflict right now, and doesn't seem to end. More escalation is what is expected if those statements are to be relied upon.
All right. Thank you so much, Amit, for all those details. And moving on, as countdown of presidential polls in the USA has started, Republican and Democrats are all out and open to denounce the other. On Wednesday, there was a huge spar between US President Joe Biden and the former US President Donald Trump. The Republican candidate Donald Trump was holding a rally in Pennsylvania on Wednesday. While addressing the rally, he claimed himself as savior of democracy in America.
Yesterday, Tim said they want to abolish the Electoral College, taking away all electoral power basically from the voters of places like Pennsylvania. Tim and Comrade Kamala are really a true threat. They are a true threat to democracy. I'm not a threat to democracy. I'm the one that's going to save democracy. I'm the one that's going to save it.
Well, the former US president also accused Kamala Harris for not handling the rescue operation after different hurricanes that affected many parts of the USA.
You know what's more important about her? I don't like her. You know what's more important about her? She's just led the worst rescue operation in history in North Carolina. The worst. And we have another big one coming in, but the worst, the one in North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, pieces of Florida got hit. I mean, it's incredible. The worst ever, they say. They had no money. You know where they gave the money? To illegal immigrants coming in, many of whom are killers, many of whom are drug dealers, many of whom are gang members, and many of whom came out of prisons from all over the world.
Well, strong rebuttal came from US President Joe Biden as he made a special statement on how his government was running the rescue operations. He accused Trump of spreading lies on hurricane issue.
Former President Trump has led this onslaught of lies. Assertions have been made that property is being confiscated. It's simply not true. They're saying people impacted by these storms will receive $750 in cash and no more. That is simply not true either. They're saying the money needed for these crises are being diverted to migrants. What the heck are they talking about? Stop it. It's outrageous. It's just not true.
Also, the Democratic candidate Kamala Harris got a shot in arms on Wednesday as Oscar-winning actor Julia Roberts came on stage to campaign for Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris in her home state of Georgia. Georgia is one of the 7 states likely to determine the contest between Harris and her Republican opponent, Donald Trump.
I believe in Georgia. I wouldn't have come home if I didn't believe that we can accomplish really beautiful goals that will extend beyond our state's borders.
Well, Donald Trump, too, in his reading rally, gathered Vivek Ramaswamy, an American politician of Indian origin, in his favor, who also stood for presidential post from Republican Party but lost the primaries. Vivek Ramaswamy, coming in support of Trump, will help the former president in swing states to woo the Indian votes.
You heard Vivek. How about Vivek? Great guy. We're gonna bring him in. I don't want to tell him yet exactly. We're gonna pick the right, because I don't like talking. First, I like to win. We gotta win. Somebody said, "Oh, sir, who's gonna be Secretary of State?" I said, "Do me a favor. Let's win first, okay?" Vivek does that, but he's going to be a part of something that's going to be really big. Thank you, Vivek. Great job. Thank you.
And moving on, American scientist John Jumper and British scientist Demis Hassabis described their surreal experience upon winning the 2024 Nobel Prize in Chemistry on Wednesday for their groundbreaking work in decoding protein structures and creating new ones, leading to advancements in drug development. The other half of the prize was awarded to American scientist David Baker for his contributions to computational protein design. Hassabis and Jumper used artificial intelligence to predict the structures of nearly all known proteins, while Baker focused on mastering life's building blocks to create entirely new proteins.
A call from Sweden, and it's most scientists understand what that means. And actually, for me, it came through via my wife's computer because I couldn't get hold of our numbers. They didn't have either of our numbers actually, and I had to give them your number. So it was pretty funny and pretty hectic as well. But it was obviously super surreal, and actually, my mind just went totally blank.
I couldn't really sleep well the night before, and I was trying to just sleep through so I could wake up knowing what the answer was. Like we knew there was some chance. I didn't put much chance on it, and then I got this phone call from a plus, I think it's +36, but a Swedish number. I nearly fell over.
And David Baker, a professor at the University of Washington, designed a novel protein using amino acids, often called life's building blocks. This breakthrough enables the rapid creation of diverse proteins for applications in pharmaceuticals, vaccines, nanomaterials, and sensors.
Well, really, it's a very, the work is very directed at solving problems. And so when we design a new protein, we are always thinking, what medical problem or what environmental problem are we trying to solve? But they're new problems that humans face today. We're living longer, so there are new diseases. We're heating up the planet. We're polluting it. And so if we had a lot of time to wait, then new proteins might evolve to solve those problems.
While you're watching DD India News Hour, time now for some sports news. Indian men's cricket team beat Bangladesh by 86 runs to take the unassailable 2-0 lead in the series on Wednesday. This is India's biggest ever win over Bangladesh in terms of runs. They surpassed their previous best of 50-run victory that came in North Sound in 2024 T20 World Cup. Batting first, India scored 221 for 9 in 20 overs. A sensational 108-run partnership of 48 balls between Nitesh Reddy and Rinku Singh was the highlight of India's innings. The side lost 3 wickets in the power play, but Rinku and Nitish joined hands to give the Bangladesh bowlers a nightmare. Nitish hit 34 balls 74, while Rinku slammed 53 of 29 balls. In the second innings also, India restricted Bangladesh to 135 for 9. Nitish Reddy and Varun Chakravarti took 2 wickets each. And India registered their biggest ever margin of victory in Women's T20 World Cup history, beating Sri Lanka by 82 runs in their third game of the 2024 edition. The win also helps them go above Pakistan and New Zealand in Group A, as well as cross New Zealand's net run rate. Batting first, India put up a daunting score of 172 thanks to half-centuries by star batters Harmanpreet Kaur and Smriti Mandhana. With the ball, India got off to an electric start, leaving Sri Lanka at 6-3 and ultimately bowling them out for 90. India will next face defending champions Australia on Sunday. An Indian women's team won a historic bronze medal at the Asian Table Tennis Championships in Astana, capital Kazakhstan. It is the first ever medal in women's team event for India since Asian Table Tennis Union started conducting the competition in 1972. India lost 1-3 to Japan in the semi-finals, while China defeated Hong Kong 3-0 in the other semi-final. Both losing semi-finalists are awarded bronze medals. India had defeated South Korea 3-2 in a nail-biting quarter-final on Tuesday to confirm the medal. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.